think that must be your theme song. What's your name?
I'm Mobee.
Hi, Mobee. Where are you from?
I'm Cantonese.
Well, thanks for helping out. So this section is called Mobee's Old School Gems, and it's an honor of the old school masters and the universal laws that they shared with us. Because you see, as these masters are retiring now, there's a new generation, like myself, of sales masters that are here and excited about training the next generation. But we want to use what they had to say and honor that and point out what still holds true today. Should we start, Mobee?
Yeah.
Hi guys, here comes our first quotation by Mark Cuban. It is so much easier to be nice, to be respectful, to put yourself in your customer's shoes than it is to try to mend a broken customer relationship.
So what does that mean? What that means to me is you want to do your job right from the beginning. So when you're at the first level of selling, you want to do each step properly. It's much easier than trying to go back and mend a relationship afterwards. Okay, Mobee, what's next?
So Jay Bear said, the difference between selling and helping is just two letters.
And as we compared old school selling, old-fashioned selling, and modern selling, the difference is one is selling and one is helping. And if you see yourself as someone who's doing helping, then it will be fun to wake up in the morning and go to work and help people and solve their problems and do it again tomorrow. Right?
Yeah, totally. So next one, Tony Farmer said, retail is selling things that don't come back to customers who do.
Right, so it sounds complicated, but it's really pretty simple. So in retail, you want to sell things that don't come back. In other words, if you do your job and connect with someone, ask good questions, solve their problem, and sell them something, they won't return it. It won't come back. And because you did a good job, they will come back and they'll come and shop with you again.
And then Shiv Kira said, 90% of selling is conviction and 10% is persuasion.
We talked earlier about how selling is a transfer of enthusiasm. Well, guess what? Selling is also the transfer of conviction. If I really believe in my product and I feel good about it and have a conviction that this is the best product in the market, this will solve my customers' needs, well, guess what? That conviction will be transferred to them and they'll nod and say, yes, I'd like to buy it.
So next one is from Ben Feldman. Don't sell life insurance. Sell what life insurance can do.
Yeah, so the salesperson that's trying to sell life insurance is probably going to have skinny kids because they're not going to make any money. So the idea is that you don't want to sell life insurance, you want to sell the benefits of having life insurance. In other words, does your prospect want life insurance or do they want their family to be protected should they pass away? So that's the benefit of life insurance. And we'll be talking a little bit later about how you want to sell benefits and not just the features of what you're selling. Moving right along.
So next one is Robert Louis Stevenson said, everyone lives by selling something to someone.
Yeah, so this is over 100 years ago that he made this statement, and that is, everyone lives by selling something to someone. In other words, you are selling. You're always selling. You've been selling.
Oh, next one is from Professor Tim.
Oh, it's got to be a good gem then.
You have already been selling all your life.
Yes, this is really important, I think. And I mean, if you think about even if you're in a relationship right now or you're married, you had to sell yourself to get to that point. And we start selling from a very young age. I mean, you think about a baby who wants to be fed is selling the idea of why there's a benefit, like maybe they'll stop crying, why there's a benefit to feeding them. And as we go through life and have to negotiate with siblings and teachers and classmates, we have to learn how to use persuasion and really selling to get the things in life that we want. So what's next, Mobee?
Okay, so next one here goes Bob Berg. He said the most valuable things you have to give people is yourself.
Yes, and when you think about it, when your prospect is comparing something you're selling versus something your competitor is selling, the greatest thing you have is that if they buy your product, they get you. That's what that means. Okay, and up next?
So next one is Tony Alexander. He said, in selling as in medicine, prescription before diagnosis is malpractice.
Yes, that's a mouthful, I know. So what he's saying is, in selling as in medicine, prescription before diagnosis is malpractice. What does that mean? Well, in selling, you're very much like playing the role of a doctor. When you go to the doctor, they ask you questions, they listen, they take notes. when you first walked into the doctor's office, if you immediately sat down and they said, take 2 of these pills and call me in the morning, you'd say, but you don't even know what's wrong with me. You haven't even diagnosed my problem. You haven't asked questions about my situation. I don't get it. You would probably go to the medical review board and say what we call malpractice. They're already diagnosing the solution before they know the problem. Well, the same holds true in selling. If you're really going to do your job right, you need to follow these 7 levels like the video game and do each step right, earn the right to move on to the following step. And the last thing we want to do is to try to solve someone's problem by trying to read their mind before we even know what is ailing them.
The following one is by John David Mann. No matter what you think you are selling, what you're really offering is you.
Yes, this is one of my favorite quotes. I love this one. So again, it's about you. It's about relationship selling. You're not selling a product, you're selling a relationship. You're not selling a product, you're selling you. You're not selling a service, you're selling yourself. That's what that means.